stuff that's under assault as white nationalism, as white racism, as the problem with America is it's been all white too much of the time. And white value, that means Christianity. We were a slave nation, doesn't anybody? We were a slave. Let me tell you something about that. The real truth about the United States and slavery is that we ended it. The United States of America was one of the first nations in history to end slavery, and 500,000 plus Americans lost their lives in the process. It was called a civil war. There were other factors as well, but slavery was a key element. And the reason is that slavery did not comport with American values. It had to go, and it did. And yet, if you listen to the mainstream media, if you listen to civil rights activists, why, you would think slavery is still alive and well. And that's what white nationalism is. It's so patently absurd. We're going to take a break. I just saw the clock. Long again. We'll be back. Don't go away.
In times like these, we need him more than ever. Rush on the EIB Network.
Trump had to leave for whatever number of minutes was the Women Entrepreneurs Finance Initiative, WE-FI, W-E-F-I. Women Entrepreneurs Finance Initiative. It's basically about how, well, hell, to be honest, it's about how a group of people get a bunch of freebies for women because they're so disadvantaged and put upon by an evil male culture. And it's an effort to have some World Bank or some World Fund or whatever fund women entrepreneurship. Anyway, Ivanka Trump was at the beginning of this whole organization. She's one of the founding members, practically. It was first announced by Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, at the Women 20 Summit in Berlin. Before they had the GS20 last week, they had the Women 20 Summit as a precedent, and it was let's see, what was it back in? It was sometime this spring, and Ivanka was there. She attended on behalf of the administration. It's the finance initiative that is the key here. You have women entrepreneurs, and over here is the money. I don't know how many of you have been entrepreneurs, and there was a pile of money dedicated for you. I doubt too many. But this is women entrepreneurs over here and a pile of money over here and a pet peeve of mine. It's one of Ivanka's big issues. That was the meeting that Trump got up and left. Ivanka had represented the regime first, the administration first. She sat in for a while. Blow everything out of proportion on purpose. And the only question here is how many low information voters end up buying into this. And see, is backfiring on the Democrats to the left. I got an email during the break. Rush, with the health care battle the way it's going and this and that, why are you spending so much time on the problems of Democrats? Because, folks, the Republicans have no excuse behaving the way they're behaving. The point that people responsible for electing Bill Clinton twice are taking notice. We have no reason to be deferring to these Democrats at all. We have nothing. So in attempting to portray and honestly analyze the dire straits the Democrats are in, not the media, I understand the distinction, I'm the one that made it. They continue not winning because they are moving away from positions that get anywhere near majority belief. Opportunity for Republicans to capitalize. How many times, Mr. Sturdley, in the past, say 10 years, have I said something along the lines of there's never been a greater time, never a greater opportunity to contrast who we are with what they have become? And it keeps getting better because they keep getting further and further extreme wacko left. The ability to the distinction of who they are and who we are it's a gold. It's never been better, and we're squandering it, in my view. So, I got to take another break, folks, because it's the fastest 3 hours in media. It's already 12 hours, almost
Have the guts to say it. Rush on the EIB network.
America's truth detector. The one and only EIB network. Happy to have you here with us, folks, as always. Telephone number 800-282-2882, and the email address rushball@eibnet.us. Now, before you go get all mad at me over my pile of money for the women entrepreneurs over here, let me... What do you think it is? When governments get together to discuss entrepreneurism, what does government have to do with it? Zilch, zero, nada. The best thing government can do for entrepreneurs is get out of the way, stay invisible. But this is predicated on the fact, what? That women are discriminated